Hey everybody, this is a response to Sugalanren's "The stock market is not your enemy." Okay, so first I'd like to address the distinction that my friend Huck is trying to make between cryptocurrency and those sorts of tokens and stocks, and how stocks are, more tangible than cryptocurrency, right? So maybe maybe Huck, you're operating under the notion that stocks are like this, right? Where this one here, this was purchased in 1962, prior to my even being conceived, right? And this piece of paper here, it's awesome. This is 10 shares of the International Underwater Research Corporation, right? This is a gem here. Check this out. It's got a nice little seal on it, and got paper, and it's tangible. You can feel it, and you know what sort of things it does, right? But am I ever going to go 20,000 leagues beneath the sea to check out where their technology has gone since 1962? Fuck no. It's kind of off limits to me. Physically, I can't really test it as far as what good is what they're doing. But I hold on to those because they're just fancy looking, and I really can't be bothered to research, what sort of company it turned into or got eaten by and all that. You got to pay money to research stocks like that. But I've got a stack of them. I don't have time to deal with, but none of them ring any bells as far as when I read their names. So yeah. Nowadays, when you're looking at me investing in cryptocurrency, I might have, a Ledger hard drive or a browser wallet like MetaMask or something where it's just numbers on a screen, right? And I think you're making a distinction between a piece of paper and physically it translates into a company that is real, right? Well, that's not how stocks kind of work these days. They work closer to what cryptocurrency looks like. I mean, here's my portfolio on Robinhood, where I just own every one of the stonks, the Wall Street Bets things. I got my GME, my AMC, and all that. Right, I just got one of it each. Just solidarity with the movement, but I'm it's a silly thing, right? But they're up 5% in a day today, and they're really kind of divorced from the fundamentals of the underlying stock because there's a movement behind them. But really, all of the stocks, in my opinion, are divorced from their underlying value when most of them don't even pay really good dividends. I mean, I have one here, X, that paid me 1 cent last quarter, and the stock price right now is $24.51. That's not a very good dividend, right? Of course, you can look for stocks that do pay good dividends, but most of the time, people are looking to invest in stocks that the principal price is going to go up. And dividend investing will get outpaced by that if you just bought the New York Stock Exchange, things on that, buy the S&P 500, just buy some index fund, and you'll get at least 7% a year, maybe more, and fine. But are they really that different from cryptocurrency when you never get a physical piece of paper anymore? Like, when's the last time you bought a stock and got an actual physical piece of paper with a little seal on it? You don't. You just go to an exchange where you have an account, and maybe they have pieces of paper that say that they own the stock. Maybe they don't, you know? And it's actually a question to me whether or not they are, by virtue of lending out stocks that they don't have, if they are creating some of the short squeeze conditions that people are trying to take advantage of with these stocks. Because if there are positions on lent out stocks that are like 150% more than the actual stocks that are in existence, then we've got a problem. They're basically just printing these stocks out of thin air sometimes. They don't actually have hold of them. And same thing happens with money. And people don't realize how much of a problem it is. And there are some things about money and stocks that cryptocurrency, I think, is working to address. Bitcoin, for example, is not inflationary, it's deflationary. There are only 21 million tokens. And there will only ever be. Right? And because of that, supply and demand, well, they're not printing more. Fiat currency from our government, inflationary, and prices are going up. They're paying the greeter at the nearby Walmart to my house $19 an hour. I'm not joking. So yeah, I don't get the difference between these sort of legacy exchange stocks where all I have to do in order to buy another one is just push a button and then the number changes, and cryptocurrency where I just use an app from an exchange and I push a button and buy one of those. The physical thing that's changing hands looks very similar, And here's a kicker. The SEC is actually, going after a few of these cryptocurrencies like Ripple, XRP, and trying to accuse them of being securities that should have to register as securities like stocks do. So, their legal arguments are such that they're trying to rein in some of these things, that they're not currencies, they are securities. But as far as them being tangible, I think some of them have good use cases, such as collectible, non-fungible tokens. There's a use case there. There's logistics. You can use some of these blockchains in order to track whatever sort of products that you're tracking. And I can understand their use cases in those scenarios. There's also unregulated gambling with it, which is a use case. I don't like it, but people do that with currency anyway. Like, just they buy tokens on one place and then they just shift them to another, and the tokens represent money, and that's how Cam4 exists. For people watching live porn and asking people to do weird sex acts for them. But I really don't see that distinction between the legacy stocks and the cryptocurrency as being something that is really all that different. My disdain for the legacy financial institutions runs very deep. They all have histories, and the cryptocurrency programs, the different projects that are out there, I probably have a disdain for 99% of them. The top 10, maybe I have a little bit more respect for, but I have seen a lot of rug pulls, both in stocks and in cryptocurrency, and it seems like there's a 99% chance that every new project that's out there in cryptocurrency will be a rug pull, and it will skirt the line between what is a security and what isn't, and it will probably be untraceable to authorities in any country that they're in, because they're using a different sort of monetary system that's a lot harder for investigators to track certain things. So yeah, as far as trust in stock, the reason why I don't have that much trust is because I have lived through different crashes. For a good long period of time on this channel, I was documenting the Occupy movement, where it all started. If you actually understood the reason why the original Occupy Wall Street movement started, it was because of derivatives, which is a certain type of stock where they mix the high risk mortgages in with the good grade A mortgages, and then they bundle them and they try to push them off onto people to invest into, and it caused a huge financial crisis. And yeah, a lot of people that were part of the Occupy movement, they just saw it as a social movement, and they couldn't really tell you what a derivative was, if you were to ask them on the street. But for me, this has been a long-standing grudge against legacy financial systems, and that's why I am interested in cryptocurrency. But even with that, I'll say that I am skeptical of just about every project I go into. I'm just very curious. What is it that is their bent? How are they trying to, liberate your wallet from you? The fool. They're trying to part you from your money, and I'm like, well, what's your angle on why I should invest in you? And sometimes I find out that they're attacking a problem that has been long-standing in the world, and I just, I appreciate that. I'm not going to ever touch the 401k that I have, and I really think that everybody should follow that same plan. I'm not a financial advisor, can't give you financial advice, but I would say that I'm not going to ever touch that until I'm retired, and everything else that I invest in other things is just my fun money. It's fun, it's interesting, it's what I like to do. But even on top of that, between stocks and cryptocurrency, you know what I trust more as far as what's going to make me money in the future? My own hands. Or the muscle between my ears. I like entrepreneurship a lot better than any sort of investing. Because anytime you put a middleman in between you and making money, they're trying to make money off of you. And very often you're going to end up with the short end of the stick. I've got various different ways that I can make money if I need money. I'm no longer in fear of any sort of financial downfall in the future. I feel like I'm pretty set, and there's a lot of privilege to that. But I worked hard at that, and you know, I have a confidence that I can do better for me as far as a return on my investment by just working hard than any sort of passive income that can bring me. And I really am skeptical of anyone who's trying to sell passive income to people. As an addiction counselor, I recognize that money itself is the universal reinforcer. Money is the one thing that whatever you're addicted to, you can buy with that. Pretty much, with some exceptions. But, people want money, and there are people who will prey on that desire. So, whenever I hear that there's this system or place where you can invest your money and get passive income, and you'd be stupid to not do this, I just feel like, well, that's their sales pitch. They're trying to get in between you and your money. They may make you some money, they may lose you a portion of your money, but in the end, they're talking to you because they would like some of your money. Maybe they just want you to buy the book where they tell you what to do. But, yeah. I really do have a disdain for the idea that you can sit on your butt, do nothing, and live comfortably the rest of your life. I really feel like that would be impossible if everybody in the world were trying to do that same thing. If it were possible for everyone to do, and everyone just decided to do that, nothing would get done. We need plumbers, we need electricians, we need craftsmen, we need all sorts of people doing jobs. And if we didn't have that, if everybody was an investor, then nothing would be worth anything. I have an understanding of where value is generated, and I side with workers a lot. And I value what they do. So I definitely feel like if your goal in the end is to get rich by doing nothing passively, right? You might just take a think about like how many people could win the lottery all at the same time and still have it be meaningful that you won the lottery. If everybody had $1 billion, nobody did. And really, everybody's got a pocket full of change, and we're all equal in that respect, that we can scrounge something up from our couch cushions and whatnot. But if those pennies just had a couple more zeros behind them, if we all went up together, all of our money would just kind of negate each other. What happens when people think that they can invest in certain things, and that they will be able to one day be rich, is that the rich just keep getting richer and outpacing them. I find that in our unfettered capitalist system that we're living in, that money kind of attracts more money to it. And if you don't have money, then what little you are able to put together, wherever you put it, maybe for a year, 2, 5, 10, it'll start looking like a good investment, but then it will be outpaced by what the rich people are doing. Right? And there's a lot of people who don't realize that they have more in common with the person that changes their oil than they do Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. Even if they're getting their oil changed on their Mercedes-Benz, there's a giant difference between millions and billions. And yeah, the pace at which people who are rich just outpace the investments of people who are poor because of the power of compounding interest, it makes it such that, you really can't count on the amount of money that you have, increasing in value to the point of keeping pace with them. You can fight for a good wage for what you do and keep up with that. And I would tell everybody right now, especially, look around, because there's probably a job that is your same job that's paying better. Just go to your competitor, get your 30% raise rather than your 2% loyalty raise that doesn't keep pace with inflation. Right? Go get your quick 30% raise that's available to you right now, because, or else you're just gonna work for that same place for 10 years and still be at whatever real pay range that you're at. Yeah, I really, really don't trust that rich people's compounding interest and really rich people's ability to skirt all sorts of tax regulations and whatnot. I have no trust that I'm going to be able to keep up with them. Like what is in my 401k right now that is getting between 10 and 20% each year. It will be so outpaced that by the time I were to retire, say 30 years from now, it will be worth about what it is right now. I don't think that it's ever going to make me a millionaire, but those people who are managing those funds, managing those accounts, they really, really want your money to go in there, so they make a good spiel about the value of saving and investing and whatnot. If you think that the interest rates that are available to you, the person who doesn't have more than $10 million, are something on par with the type of money that you can make when you have more than that, then you are fooling yourself. Yeah. And if that sounds defeatist, that is my experience. And I mean it to be.